So yesterday I spoke about Vivica Fox, an American actress who is almost 60 years old now, saying that she's looking for love and applications. And somebody challenged me inbox to say that since I'm always saying that most marital challenges are coming from the family of the man or the woman, not really her husband or his wife, that I should prove it with this case. I said okay, so I went digging. So here's what I found. Guess what? Vivica Fox's parents divorced when she was 3 years old, and she was raised primarily by her mother. Okay, so you can go and read more. This is the page where I got it. All right, see where it stated it clearly here. Okay, this is her father. When her father was young, her father died at the age of 80 something, fairly recently, I think 2017. All right, so the man married her mother and 1957. By 1964 they have already broken up. They had like 4 children together. So he divorced Vivica Fox's mother when Vivica Fox was just 4 years old. So here's the shocker here. When Vivica Fox was 3 years old was when her parents divorced, right? Guess what? Vivica Fox eventually married at the age of 34 in 1998. 3 years later, she separated from her husband. Exactly how old she was when her father separated from her mother, 3 years later. Then she went through a divorce court for 2 years, trying to finalize the divorce. So it took her an extra 2 years, so a total of 5 years. But the breakup happened at age 3. So assuming she had a child on the first year of her marriage, the child would have been 3 years again when the marriage broke. But she did not have a child. So till today, she doesn't have a biological child of her own. So she was forced to adopt some children. I think up to 6 children that she adopted. So when asked why she did not give birth to a child, she said she could never find a man that could impregnate her. So, but she has a long list of men that she has dated after breaking up from her. So here's a list of some other people she has dated after breaking up with her husband. So by now you should have observed the pattern. She was never able to remarry, but her father remarried and had many other kids apart from the one he had with her mother. So now you can see clearly that the problem, she later went back to her husband that she broke up with. So they hang out, but they did not remarry. So they hang out often at events, but they did not remarry. Now you can see that the problem she's facing was lack of fatherhood. There was no father in her life. So she never saw a man treat her woman, her mother, live under a man in a house. She doesn't know how a man and a woman is supposed to relate. Do you understand? That training is lacking in her life. Even though she's a very intelligent woman, very beautiful, high achieving. Just look at these are the movies she has featured in from 1995, as you can see. Very, very high achieving. So she had a lot of money. She married around 1998. So by the time she was marrying, she has acted all these major movies. Can you see? So she was rich. So she was able to make a lot of money in life, but one aspect of her life became her weakness, which is the family aspect. She could never create a family because she never saw it being created. This is the problem many people are facing in marriage today. They think that their husband is the problem or their wife is the problem, but when you really dig deep, you will see that they are coming from a family where they have been robbed of seeing a peaceful home. They never saw it, they never experienced it. That's why on this channel, if you have been following me before, you see that I've detailed how to solve that problem. Many people often go to pastors or spiritualists to do juju or do some prayers when they're having marital issues. But the first step you should have taken is to find the cause, the source of the problem. So every man or every woman listening to this, if you are single, before you marry, you must make sure that you have done your assignment to study the family you are coming from, to be sure that there is no marital challenges there. If there is, you want to find out whether it was solved. How was it solved? What caused it? Some of you are coming from broken homes, and it's not your fault. You didn't choose which family to be born into. Now you're into the world, you just realize that it's only your mother that is raising you, or only your father. First thing you want to find out is reconnect with the other spouse. If your mother is raising you, you want to reconnect with your father. If you can't reconnect with your father, try and connect with the family, the surviving members of the family. Let them tell you about your father or about your mother. You want to meet your aunties from the other side, and let them tell you what they know was the cause of the breakup. You might be surprised that what they will tell you will be totally different from what your own parents told you or your own mother or father told you. So you want to piece together everything. You know, nobody will tell you the whole truth, right? So you want to piece together all the stories and make a more complete story, you know, based on your judgment. Now you want to study you want to pinpoint who caused the problem. And you want to avoid marrying that kind of person, or marrying a family that looks like that. You understand? I was speaking with somebody, and he was having an issue with his girlfriend. The girl was pregnant, true life story, and she wanted to remove it. And this guy wanted to marry the girl, and there was a problem, you know. It was looking like the marriage is not going to hold. So when I started asking him about his family, it turned out that was exactly how he was born. His father was having that same issue with his mother, until finally, by the time he was being born, the father has already left and married another woman. So the mother became second wife instead of first wife, and there is, you know, now his own time has come to marry. He's facing the identical issue. And the funny thing is that he never knew until I pointed that out. I said, is that not how, from the story you've told me about your birth now, is that not how you were born too? Now your child is coming into the world inside that kind of chaos. Are you getting what I'm saying? So many people, the problem they are facing in marriage is from their family. So once you point out what happened in your family, you start looking for the features, physical features in, if you're a man, you start looking for physical features in your mother that may have triggered that breakup. Those features, you want to avoid it in a woman. The woman you're going to marry, make sure that she doesn't have that features. Don't marry a woman that looks similar to your mother. If your mother had bad attitude, if you're dating a woman and she shows you bad attitude, you know that it's the same demon. Let me put it in Nigerian pastor's lingo. It's the same demon in your mother that has transferred to the woman that you're about to marry. So you have to leave her. You understand? You know that if you marry her, you're going to end up breaking up the way your father broke up with your mother. For some women, it's because the woman is talkative. She's a good woman, but once she's annoyed, she will use her mouth and destroy everything you guys have built. She talk. Your father died out of stroke or high blood pressure because of talk. So if you're dating a girl and you guys had an issue and she opened her mouth and pour everything, just know that it's the same mother that you had that caused the breakup or sudden death of your father. The story I was reading the other day was a woman that the man was saving money. They were renting a house in the city, right? And the man was saving money to build a house in the village. Okay, so that in his retirement, the family can move to the house. But the wife refused. She wanted to stay in the city. So she started taxing the man for money, so that the man will be spending the money on her instead of using it to build the house, because she disagrees with the village house. The man managed to manage the situation, give her money, spend money on the house until the mansion was complete. When they now wanted to move to the mansion, not mansion, now house, right? When they wanted to relocate, the woman refused. In the process of the argument, the woman pushed the man, and the man fell and hit his head and had stroke. So the rest of the children, everybody now relocated and left the woman, told her to stay in town there, that they don't want to see her in that house until the father recovers. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So if the children there now are going to marry, they need to analyze what was the problem with our mother that we don't want to see in a wife. So when you're dating a girl, you already know at the back of your mind the characteristics you are looking for that you want to avoid. One of the reasons for marriage is so that you can cancel out the problems that came from your family lineage. If you're a short person, you want to marry a tall person, so you can cancel out shortness from your family. You understand? If you're an unbeautiful person, you want to marry a beautiful person, and so on. So trace down the problem with your family and try and avoid it in your partner. That's the biggest thing you can do for yourself in marriage.